Introduction. Buddhism, one of the world's major religions, originated in India over 2,500 years ago. Today, it is practiced by millions of people around the world, with significant populations in Asia, North America, and Europe. In this article, we will explore the global spread of Buddhism and its impact on different cultures and societies. The global spread of Buddhism. Buddhism began to spread beyond India in the 3rd century when the Mauryan Emperor Ashoka sent Buddhist missionaries to other parts of Asia. Over time, Buddhism spread throughout Asia, adapting and evolving as it encountered different cultures and societies. Today, Buddhism is practiced in many countries around the world, including China, Japan, Korea, Thailand, Sri Lanka, Cambodia, Vietnam, the United States, Canada, and many others. In each of these countries, Buddhism has adapted to the local culture, incorporating local customs and practices into its teachings and practices. The impact of Buddhism on different cultures. Buddhism has had a profound impact on different cultures and societies around the world. In many countries, Buddhism has played a significant role in shaping the political and social order, with kings and rulers supporting and patronizing Buddhist temples and monasteries. In addition, Buddhism has had a significant impact on art, literature, and philosophy in many cultures. Buddhist teachings on compassion, wisdom, and non-attachment have inspired artists, writers, and thinkers for centuries, and continue to influence culture and society today. Buddhism has also contributed to the development of various cultural practices and traditions, such as meditation, mindfulness, and martial arts. These practices have had a significant impact on the health and well-being of individuals, and have been adopted by people of all backgrounds and cultures. The impact of different cultures on Buddhism. While Buddhism has had a significant impact on different cultures, it has also been influenced by the cultures in which it has been practiced. As Buddhism spread throughout Asia, it encountered different cultures and societies, and adapted to their customs and practices. For example, in China, Buddhism was influenced by Confucianism and Taoism, and developed a unique tradition known as Chan, or Zen Buddhism. In Japan, Buddhism was influenced by Shintoism and developed a unique tradition known as Pure Land Buddhism. In addition, as Buddhism has spread to the West, it has encountered new cultural and social contexts, and has been influenced by Western philosophy and psychology. This has led to the development of new forms of Buddhism, such as mindfulness-based interventions and secular Buddhism. Buddhism arose in India in the 6th century and later spread throughout Asia. After the parinirvana of the Buddha, his disciples and monastic communities helped establish Buddhism in India, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Myanmar, Cambodia, China, Korea, Japan, Tibet, Nepal, Bhutan, Mongolia, and other Asian countries. As Buddhism spread, it incorporated local beliefs and adapted to different cultural contexts while retaining core teachings like the Four Noble Truths, Eightfold Path, compassion, and meditation. Unique Buddhist traditions developed in each region with distinct styles, practices, and philosophies. But all shared a common lineage and quest for enlightenment. The spread of Buddhism to China began in the 1st century CE. Monks traveled the Silk Road, translating scriptures into Chinese and establishing monasteries. Chinese Buddhism incorporated Taoism and Confucianism. It flourished under imperial support, constructing many cave temples and pagodas. Chinese Buddhism introduced meditation, monastic discipline, and cosmic beliefs to other East Asian traditions. Theravada Buddhism emerged in Sri Lanka, Thailand, Myanmar, and Cambodia. Valuing monasticism, meditation and following the original teachings of the Buddha as recorded in the Pali Canon. Buddhist temple complexes, stupas and rock temple sanctuaries spread throughout these regions. Theravada Buddhism remains the dominant form of Buddhism in Southeast Asia today. Spreading to Tibet and Mongolia, Vajrayana or Tantric Buddhism developed unique deities, mandalas, yogic practices and belief in reincarnation. Powerful monasteries and lineages were established, preserving Buddhist teachings and arts for centuries. Tibetan Buddhism gained renown for its complex philosophical tenets, monastic universities, and majestic monasteries. Buddhism declined in India but flourished in other parts of Asia. With the decline of the Gupta Empire, monastic centers closed, and institutional support and patronage decreased. But the teachings, legends, and legacy of the Buddha remained an inspiration. Hinduism absorbed some aspects of Buddhism, and elements of Buddhism influenced other Indian faiths. Today, Buddhism has over 500 million adherents worldwide, making it a major world religion. However, there is great diversity across traditions with some key differences in beliefs, practices, philosophies, and values. Core teachings on meditation, wisdom, morality, and compassion unite them despite these differences. In summary, as Buddhism spread from India throughout Asia, it incorporated local beliefs and adapted to diverse cultures while largely retaining original core teachings. Each region developed unique but intertwined Buddhist traditions with their own characteristics, languages, histories, monastic orders, and attained spiritual wisdom. Through its global spread, Buddhist teachings influenced art, philosophy, education, politics, spiritual practices, and cultural traditions far beyond its original borders. Buddhism brought immense benefits to the places it spread, including promotion of tolerance, nonviolence, meditation, monastic discipline, and virtue. Dialogue between Buddhist traditions also cultivated appreciation of diversity in the quest for awakening. Today, Buddhism continues to spread globally. Interfaith dialogue amplifies messages of peace and shared spiritual ideals. And Buddhist teachings inspire goodness in an increasingly interconnected world. The spread of Buddhism across Asia and beyond shaped history with profound and wide-ranging influences on religion, society, art, and culture. Introduction. Buddhism is one of the world's major religions, with over 500 million followers worldwide. The religion originated in India in the 5th century and has since spread to other countries around the world. In this essay, we will explore the global spread of Buddhism and its impact on different cultures. The spread of Buddhism in Asia. The spread of Buddhism from India to other countries in Asia began in the 3rd century. The religion was spread by Buddhist missionaries who traveled to neighboring countries, including Sri Lanka, Nepal, and Afghanistan. In Sri Lanka, Buddhism took root and became the dominant religion on the island. Sri Lankan Buddhism is characterized by its emphasis on monasticism and meditation and remains a significant influence on Buddhist traditions in other countries. Feng Shui, the importance of partitions, how to use partitions to create protection, privacy, and at the same time create ventilation and let in natural light. Feng Shui is an ancient Chinese practice that is used to create harmony between people and their environment. Partitions are an important part of Feng Shui, as they can be used to create protection, privacy, transparency, and access to natural light. In this essay, we will explore the importance of partitions in Feng Shui and how to use them to create protection, privacy, transparency, and access to natural light. First, we will look at the basics of Feng Shui and how partitions are used in the practice. Partitions are used in Feng Shui to create protection, privacy, transparency, and access to natural light. Partitions can be used to divide up a space, create boundaries, and create a sense of order in the environment. Partitions can also be used to create a sense of privacy and control of the environment. Second, we will consider how partitions can be used to create protection. Partitions can be used to create protection from outside influences and from the elements. Partitions can be used to create a sense of security and privacy in the environment. Partitions can also be used to create physical barriers to keep out unwanted people and animals. Third, we will examine how partitions can be used to create privacy. Partitions can be used to create privacy by blocking out noise, views, and other distractions. Partitions can also be used to create a sense of control and privacy in the environment. Partitions can also be used to create physical barriers to keep out unwanted people and animals. Finally, we will discuss how partitions can be used to create transparency and access to natural light. Partitions can be used to create transparency by allowing natural light to enter the space. Partitions can also be used to create a sense of openness and connection to the outdoors. Partitions can also be used to create access to natural light, which can help to create a sense of peace and well-being in the environment. In conclusion, partitions are an important part of Feng Shui, as they can be used to create protection, privacy, transparency, and access to natural light. Partitions can be used to divide up a space, create boundaries, and create a sense of order in the environment. Partitions can also be used to create privacy and control of the environment, as well as to create transparency and access to natural light. Using room dividers to create openness. Room dividers can also be used to create an open and airy living space. For example, a room divider can be used to separate a living area from a dining area, while still allowing natural light to flow through the room. This creates a sense of openness and spaciousness in the home. Room dividers can also be used to create an open and airy feeling in small spaces. For example, a room divider can be used to separate a small bedroom from a living area, while still allowing natural light to flow through the room. This creates a sense of spaciousness and openness in the small space. Finally, partitions can be used to create a sense of openness and connection to the outdoors, as well as to create a sense of peace and well-being in the environment. Partitions refer to walls, screens, shelving, or other structural elements used to divide space in a Feng Shui layout. They have an important role in creating favorable qi, energy, flow, providing protection, ensuring privacy while still allowing for openness and natural light. Partitions protect and define boundaries. They help establish clear delineations between spaces, protecting their defined functions and energies. Partitions also protect from unfavorable external influences like noise, pollution, or negative qi fields. They shield private spaces and reinforce personal boundaries, sensing of security and comfort. Partitions enable privacy while allowing flow. Carefully placed partitions can create a balance of enclosure and openness. They shield the private and intimate aspects of a space while still allowing broad vistas and a general sense of openness. Transparent or partially transparent partitions especially achieve this, providing visibility into adjacent areas. Open layouts can be maintained while demarcating distinct spaces. Partitions facilitate natural light while moderating heat/cold. Judicious use of partitions, including glass, panels or beams, can bring in more light while regulating temperature through shading and natural insulation. They improve thermal efficiency, reducing heating/cooling needs. Light is permitted to flow through for a bright ambience, while warmth and comfort are optimized through control of light and airflow. Use of natural and harmonious materials enhances feng shui. Partitions made of wood, stone, metal, and bamboo help establish connections to natural elements that nourish the space. They complement the harmonious flow of energy within surrounding architecture and landscape. Materials are selected based on the space's function, with certain woods, for example, bringing peace or vitality. Natural partitions merge space with its environment, inspiring calm and well-being. Sloped or angled partitions provide dynamism. Partitions do not necessarily have to be straight, rigid walls. Sloped, slanted or angled partitions introduce a lively and sculptural quality. They create interesting visual dynamics, varied perspectives and spatial interplay within a layout. Subtle curves or diagonals in glass, screen or shelving partitions enhance fountain-like flow and vibrant energy in feng shui. In summary, partitions play an essential role in creating a harmonious feng shui layout. They provide definition and protection while allowing flow and openness. Careful placement of partitions balances privacy and enclosure with expansiveness. Natural and dynamically angled materials nourish the space with their energies. Partitions regulate temperature, light and sound for maximum comfort while reinforcing clear boundaries. Introduction. The Guan Yin Festival, also known as the Festival of the Goddess of Mercy, is an annual celebration in Vietnamese culture that honors Guan Yin, the Bodhisattva of compassion in Mahayana Buddhism. The festival is a time for Buddhists to give thanks and pay homage to Guan Yin and other bodhisattvas who have dedicated themselves to serving humanity. In this article, we will explore the significance of the Guan Yin festival and the role of bodhisattvas in Buddhist practice. The significance of the Guan Yin festival. The Guan Yin festival is celebrated on the 19th day of the second lunar month, which typically falls in late February or early March. The festival is a time for Buddhists to express their gratitude and devotion to Guan Yin and other bodhisattvas who have dedicated themselves to serving humanity. During the festival, Buddhists visit temples and shrines to offer incense, flowers, and other offerings to Guan Yin and other bodhisattvas. Many also participate in processions and ceremonies, and make donations to support the work of the temple and its community. The role of bodhisattvas in Buddhist practice. Bodhisattvas are beings who have attained enlightenment but choose to remain in the world to help others achieve enlightenment. They are revered in Mahayana Buddhism as models of compassion, wisdom, and selflessness, and are considered essential to the Buddhist path. In Buddhist practice, bodhisattvas are often invoked as sources of inspiration and guidance. Buddhists believe that by following the example of bodhisattvas, they can cultivate the qualities of compassion, wisdom, and selflessness in themselves, and work to alleviate the suffering of others. Guan Yin, in particular, is revered in Mahayana Buddhism as the bodhisattva of compassion. She is often depicted holding a vase of dew, which represents the nectar of compassion, and is believed to have the power to relieve the suffering of all beings. The Guan Yin festival is a Buddhist holiday celebrated in China and Chinese communities worldwide. It honors Guan Yin, the bodhisattva of compassion, wisdom and mercy, as well as other bodhisattvas and deities who piously serve beings along the path to enlightenment. Guan Yin is the bodhisattva of boundless compassion. The name Guan Yin means perceiving the cries of the world. She sees and hears the suffering of all beings and strives tirelessly to free them from sorrow and realization. Guan Yin embodies the compassion of all the Buddhas. She uses divine powers and wisdom to relieve suffering in its countless forms. Her kindness has no limits or conditions. The Guan Yin festival celebrates Guan Yin's ministry of mercy. It commemorates numerous legends depicting Guan Yin using her immense compassion, wisdom and ability to create devices to liberate beings from anguish. It commemorates numerous legends depicting Guan Yin using her immense compassion, wisdom and ability to create devices to liberate beings from anguish. She is revered for vowing to not enter nirvana until she frees all beings from suffering. Those who revere Guan Yin believe her divine compassion is always available to help them in times of need. The festival honors Guan Yin's attendants who assist in her work. These include bodhisattvas like Samandabhadra, Manjushri, and Samandabhadra who represent ascetic practice, insight and virtuous conduct. Deities like Dasong and Zayashu represent liberation from suffering through wisdom and compassionate skillful means. Avalokitesvara represents the listening heart of compassion that perceives all cries for help. All attend Guan Yin in manifesting mercy for the suffering world. Devotees engage in acts of reverence, worship and celebration. They make offerings of flowers, incense, candles, fruit and prayer beads. Pilgrims journey to Guan Yin temples and shrines to prostrate themselves in devotion. Statues and portraits of Guan Yin are lavished with new sacred robes. Special ceremonial meals may be prepared. Chanting, meditation, and recitation of the Guan Yin Sutra honor her wisdom, kindness and devotion. Gratitude for her salvation and compassion sustain the day of joy and remembrance. The festival reminds beings of Guan Yin's sublime example. Like her, devotees seek to develop boundless compassion, patience, wisdom and skillful means to liberate all sentient life from misery. By honoring Guan Yin, one embodies her virtues, resonates with her divine energy and perceives wisdom within compassion. Faith in her help brings peace, courage and hope to face all difficulties along life's path. In summary, the Guan Yin festival celebrates the bodhisattva of compassion and mercy. It honors Guan Yin's immense kindness, patience, wisdom and ability to perceive and relieve suffering in all its forms. The festival also reveres attendant bodhisattvas and deities who assist Guan Yin in manifesting liberation from anguish. Through worship, devotion and gratitude, devotees seek to develop virtues like Guan Yin's own boundless compassion and wisdom. The Guan Yin festival brings solace, courage, and resilience in times of need through faith in her divine and ceaseless ministry of mercy. It inspires love and compassion for all beings along the path to enlightenment. Introduction. The Guan Yin festival is a major Buddhist festival in Vietnam that honors Guan Yin and the Bodhisattvas. The festival is celebrated annually on the 19th day of the second lunar month, and it is one of the most important religious festivals in Vietnam. In this essay, we will explore the Guan Yin festival and its significance in Buddhism. The history of the Guan Yin festival. The Guan Yin festival has its roots in the legend of Guan Yin, the Bodhisattva of compassion. According to legend, Guan Yin was once a princess who renounced her royal status to become a Buddhist nun. She dedicated her life to helping others and became known for her compassion and kindness. In Vietnam, Guan Yin is revered as a symbol of compassion, and the Guan Yin festival is a way to honor her and the other bodhisattvas who have dedicated their lives to serving others. In Vietnam, Guan Yin is revered as a symbol of compassion. And the Guan Yin festival is a way to honor her and the other bodhisattvas who have dedicated their lives to serving others. The significance of the Guan Yin festival. The Guan Yin festival is a time to honor Guan Yin and the other bodhisattvas who have dedicated their lives to serving others. The Great Compassionate Vow is an important part of the spiritual journey of a Buddhist. The vow is a commitment to practice the teachings of the Buddha and to cultivate compassion and wisdom. In this essay, we will explore the presence and meaning of the Great Compassionate Vow in the spiritual journey of a Buddhist. First, we will look at the basics of the Great Compassionate Vow and how it is used in the spiritual journey of a Buddhist. The Great Compassionate Vow is a commitment to practice the teachings of the Buddha and to cultivate compassion and wisdom. The vow is also used to remind a Buddhist of their commitment to practice the teachings of the Buddha and to cultivate compassion and wisdom. Second, we will consider how the Great Compassionate Vow can help a Buddhist on their spiritual journey. The Great Compassionate Vow can help a Buddhist on their spiritual journey by providing a source of guidance and inspiration. The vow can also be used to remind a Buddhist of their commitment to practice the teachings of the Buddha and to cultivate compassion and wisdom. Third, we will examine how the Great Compassionate Vow can help to create a sense of peace and well-being. The Great Compassionate Vow can help to create a sense of peace and well-being by providing a source of guidance and inspiration. The vow can also be used to remind a Buddhist of their commitment to practice the teachings of the Buddha and to cultivate compassion and wisdom. Finally, we will discuss how the Great Compassionate Vow can be used to promote understanding and respect for the diversity of beliefs and cultures in the world. The Great Compassionate Vow can be used to promote understanding and respect for the diversity of beliefs and cultures in the world by providing a source of guidance and inspiration. The vow can also be used to remind a Buddhist of their commitment to practice the teachings of the Buddha and to cultivate compassion and wisdom. Introduction. The Great Compassionate Bodhisattva, also known as Avalokitesvara, is one of the most revered bodhisattvas in Buddhism. The bodhisattva is seen as a symbol of compassion and mercy, and is believed to have the power to help those who are suffering. In this essay, we will explore the presence and significance of the great compassionate bodhisattva in the spiritual practice of Buddhists. The presence of the great compassionate bodhisattva in Buddhism. The great compassionate bodhisattva is present in many forms of Buddhism, including Mahayana, Vajrayana, and Tibetan Buddhism. The bodhisattva is often depicted as a male figure with multiple arms, symbolizing his ability to help many beings at once. In some forms of Buddhism, the great compassionate bodhisattva is also depicted as a female figure, known as Guan Yin. Guan Yin is seen as a symbol of mercy and compassion, and is often depicted with a vase of pure water, representing the water of compassion that she pours out to those who are suffering. The significance of the great compassionate bodhisattva in Buddhist practice. The great compassionate bodhisattva is significant in Buddhist practice for several reasons. First, the bodhisattva is seen as a symbol of compassion and mercy. Buddhists believe that by invoking the name of the great compassionate bodhisattva and meditating on his qualities, they can cultivate compassion and mercy in their own hearts. Second, the great compassionate bodhisattva is believed to have the power to help those who are suffering. Buddhists believe that by invoking the name of the bodhisattva and asking for his help, they can receive assistance in their own lives and in the lives of others. Third, the great compassionate bodhisattva is seen as a symbol of the ultimate goal of Buddhist practice, which is to attain enlightenment and become a bodhisattva. The great compassionate bodhisattva serves as an inspiration for Buddhists to cultivate the qualities of compassion and mercy in their own lives, and to work towards the goal of attaining enlightenment and becoming a bodhisattva. The practice of invoking the great compassionate bodhisattva. In Buddhist practice, the great compassionate bodhisattva is often invoked through the recitation of his name and the visualization of his form. Buddhists believe that by reciting the bodhisattva's name and visualizing his form, they can cultivate compassion and mercy in their own hearts, and receive assistance from the bodhisattva. Buddhists believe that by reciting the bodhisattva's name and visualizing his form, they can cultivate compassion and mercy in their own hearts, and receive assistance from the bodhisattva. One of the most common practices for invoking the great compassionate bodhisattva is the recitation of the Great Compassion Mantra. This mantra is believed to have the power to help those who are suffering, and to assist in the attainment of enlightenment. The mantra is often recited in a group setting, with participants taking turns reciting the mantra for an extended period of time. Another common practice for invoking the great compassionate bodhisattva is the practice of visualization. In this practice, the practitioner visualizes the bodhisattva's form, and imagines that the bodhisattva is present with them, offering guidance and assistance. Avalokitesvara is the bodhisattva of compassion in Mahayana Buddhism. The name Avalokitesvara means perceiving the cries of the world. This bodhisattva is revered for embodying infinite kindness, wisdom and perceptiveness into the suffering of all beings. Avalokitesvara uses compassion and skillful means to relieve beings from anguish and guide them to enlightenment. Avalokitesvara is an ever-present help in times of need. Buddhist practitioners believe that by invoking Avalokitesvara's name with faith and devotion, one can find solace from difficulties, courage in fear, and hope in despair. Avalokitesvara perceives even the faintest cries for help from the deepest cries of anguish. Her kindness and wisdom never slumber. Those who revere Avalokitesvara feel less alone in facing life's trials. She is a trustworthy refuge and guide on the long path to awakening. Avalokitesvara represents the caring heart that perceives all suffering. She does not judge those who suffer or blame them for their plight. With patience and compassion, she strives tirelessly to understand the source of sorrow and discover a means by which to cure it. Her divine perceptiveness allows her to understand even the most subtle causes of anguish in any being. There are no sufferings beyond her ability to relieve. Avalokitesvara manifests skillful means for liberation from suffering. She uses meditation, wisdom, compassion, and skillful manifestations of enlightened beings to free beings from misery. Her profound insight lets her gain access even to the deepest hell realms, releasing beings caught within suffering's cycle of rebirth. She represents the power of benevolence, wisdom, and means to overcome bondage. Avalokitesvara is revered as a pious and patient guide on the spiritual path. The Four Noble Truths are an important part of Buddhism, and are used to help guide practitioners on their spiritual journey. The Four Noble Truths are also used to promote understanding and awakening in Buddhism. In this essay, we will explore the Four Noble Truths and awakening in Buddhism. First, we will look at the basics of the Four Noble Truths and how they are used in Buddhism. The Four Noble Truths are a set of teachings that are used to help guide practitioners on their spiritual journey. The Four Noble Truths are used to promote understanding and awakening in Buddhism by providing guidance and insight into the nature of reality and suffering. Second, we will consider how the Four Noble Truths can help to promote understanding and awakening in Buddhism. The Four Noble Truths can help to promote understanding and awakening in Buddhism by providing guidance and insight into the nature of reality and suffering. The Four Noble Truths can also be used to remind practitioners of their commitment to practice the teachings of the Buddha and to cultivate compassion and wisdom. Third, we will examine how the Four Noble Truths can be used to create a sense of peace and well-being. The Four Noble Truths can be used to create a sense of peace and well-being by providing guidance and insight into the nature of reality and suffering. The Four Noble Truths can also be used to remind practitioners of their commitment to practice the teachings of the Buddha and to cultivate compassion and wisdom. Finally, we will discuss how the Four Noble Truths can be used to promote understanding and respect for the diversity of beliefs and cultures in the world. The Four Noble Truths can be used to promote understanding and respect for the diversity of beliefs and cultures in the world by providing guidance and insight into the nature of reality and suffering. The Four Noble Truths can also be used to remind practitioners of their commitment to practice the teachings of the Buddha and to cultivate compassion and wisdom. In conclusion, the Four Noble Truths are an important part of Buddhism, and are used to help guide practitioners on their spiritual journey. The Four Noble Truths are used to promote understanding and awakening in Buddhism by providing guidance and insight into the nature of reality and suffering. The Four Noble Truths can also be used to create a sense of peace and well-being and to promote understanding and respect for the diversity of beliefs and cultures in the world. In Buddhism, the four pillars refer to four key practices that support progress on the spiritual path. They include right view, right intention, right speech, and right conduct. The four pillars cultivate wisdom, virtue, and liberation from suffering. By developing these pillars, one opens the heart and mind to enlightenment. Right view refers to understanding the truth of suffering, its causes and end of suffering. It sees reality as it is, impermanent, non-self and non-attachment. Right view perceives liberation as the only true happiness and the Eightfold Path as the means to attain it. It comprehends egoism as the root cause of anguish and abandons false notions of an inherent, separate self. Right view awakens insight into the nature of existence. Right intention aims for non-attachment, harmlessness, and renunciation. It seeks pleasure, joy, and bliss not from sensual indulgence but liberation. Right intention abandons desires for existence and non-existence, permanence and annihilation. It nurtures renunciation, peace, wisdom, and enlightenment. Through right intention, craving and ignorance weaken their grip on the heart and mind opens to truth. Right speech avoids lying, slander, harsh words, and idle chatter. It cultivates truthful, beneficial, gentle, and meaningful speech. Right speech levels wrong conceptions and soothes anguish. It expresses wisdom, compassion, and encouragement to beings along their way. By right speech, divisive and craving-fed speech diminishes and the heart's unity grows ever deeper. Right conduct involves restraint, renunciation, and non-attachment. It abandons killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, lying, slander, harsh speech, and idle chatter. Right conduct untethers from bondage of craving and nurtures the peace of liberation. It renounces self-centered actions and cultivates conduct of wisdom, compassion, generosity, and virtue. As right conduct strengthens, selfishness fades and awakening dawns. In summary, the four pillars provide a foundation for progressing along the Buddhist path to enlightenment. They include right view, right intention, right speech, and right conduct, which respectively cultivate insight, renunciation, wisdom, and virtue. By developing these pillars, the heart and mind open to truth, craving and ignorance loosen their grip, and one gradually attains liberation from suffering. By developing these pillars, the heart and mind open to truth, craving, and ignorance loosen their grip, and one gradually attains liberation from suffering. The four pillars support the journey from delusion to awakening through discipline, discernment, and compassion. They represent the path of wisdom, virtue, and means by which suffering ends. One who treads this path with diligence soon realizes supreme and complete awakening. The four pillars enable opening of heart, release from bondage, and union with truth. They represent the progressive stages by which the blindfold of delusion falls away, revealing the enlightened nature of the mind. As the pillars strengthen, ignorance and craving diminish step by step until only insight and peace remain. The four pillars thus support the opening of enlightenment through cultivation of wisdom, virtue, and renunciation of suffering's cause. They reveal the ultimate truth of nirvana, our true nature beyond dark delusion. By traversing the path they define, one reaches the full lotus blossoming of enlightenment. Introduction. In Mahayana Buddhism, the concept of the four reliances, or four pillars of spiritual practice, is known as the Tathagata Garbha, or the womb of the Buddha. These four pillars are the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, and the Bodhisattvas. Together, they form the foundation of Buddhist practice and the path to enlightenment. Introduction. Feng Shui, the ancient Chinese art of designing spaces for optimal energy flow, has gained popularity around the world in recent years. One of the key elements of Feng Shui is the use of interior design to create a harmonious and balanced living space. In this article, we will explore the importance of Feng Shui in interior design, and provide tips on how to choose colors, furnishings, and decor to create the best Feng Shui in your home. The importance of Feng Shui in interior design. Feng Shui is an important element in interior design as it can promote a sense of harmony and balance in the living space. By using the principles of Feng Shui in interior design, you can create a space that is not only aesthetically pleasing, but also promotes health, happiness, and prosperity. Feng Shui principles can be applied to all aspects of interior design, including color selection, furniture placement, and decor. By paying attention to these elements, you can create a space that is both beautiful and harmonious. Choosing colors for Feng Shui. Color is an important element in Feng Shui, as it can affect the energy flow in the living space. When choosing colors for your home, it is important to consider the 5 Feng Shui elements: fire, earth, metal, water, and wood. Fire colors, such as red, orange, and pink, can create a sense of warmth and excitement in the living space. Earth colors, such as beige, brown, and yellow, can create a sense of stability and grounding. Metal colors, such as white, gray, and silver, can create a sense of clarity and precision. Watercolors, such as blue, black, and purple, can create a sense of calm and relaxation. Wood colors, such as green and brown, can create a sense of growth and vitality. When choosing colors for your home, it is important to consider the balance of these elements, and to choose colors that promote a sense of harmony and balance in the living space. Furnishings and decor for Feng Shui. Furniture and decor are also important elements in Feng Shui, as they can affect the energy flow in the living space. When selecting furniture and decor, it is important to consider the size, shape, and placement of these items. Furniture should be arranged in a way that promotes a sense of balance and harmony in the living space. For example, chairs and sofas should be arranged in a way that promotes conversation and social interaction, and should not be placed in a way that blocks the flow of energy. Decor should also be chosen with Feng Shui principles in mind. For example, mirrors can be used to reflect light and energy in the living space, and plants can be used to promote a sense of growth and vitality. Conclusion. Feng Shui is an important element in interior design, as it can promote a sense of harmony and balance in the living space. By using the principles of Feng Shui in color selection, furniture placement, and decor, you can create a space that is not only aesthetically pleasing, but also promotes health, happiness, and prosperity. When designing your home with Feng Shui principles in mind, it is important to consider the balance of the 5 Feng Shui elements, and to choose colors, furnishings, and decor that promote a sense of harmony and balance in the living space. By paying attention to these elements, you can create a space that is both beautiful and harmonious, and that promotes health, happiness, and prosperity for all who inhabit it. Feng Shui is an ancient Chinese system of beliefs about how the harmony between humanity and the environment affects health and prosperity. When applied to interior spaces, Feng Shui aims to harmonize the flow of qi, life energy, for well-being, peace of mind, and abundant joy. Good Feng Shui interior design chooses colors, furnishings, lighting, and spatial layouts that enhance qi flow. Choose nature-inspired colors. Colors from nature such as woodland green, sandy beige, mountain stone, and ocean blue are balancing and calming. They nourish qi energy. Bright colors invigorate while intense hues may irritate. Use calming neutrals and pastels as a base, adorning with natural accent colors. A balanced color scheme avoids clashes while harmonizing different areas. Choose comfortable and high-quality furnishings. Choose furnishings that you find cozy, pleasing, and help you relax. Wood, stone, ceramic, and metal materials in warm tones have good qi energy. Groupings and clusters of furnishings rather than isolated islands will maximize flow and movement. Ensure all areas can be easily accessed. Ensure shelving is not overly cluttered to create stale qi pockets. Allow spaciousness and flow. A spacious layout with wide open areas allowing easy movement between spaces has good Feng Shui flow. Minimize compartmentalizing partitions and enclosed cubbies. Ensure walking paths do not create diverging or confusing layouts where a person does not know how to move through a space. Remove obstruction from doorways and allow ease of access in all areas. Use lighting to enhance flow. Natural lighting from undimmed windows brings the most yang qi energy into a space. Supplement with full-spectrum bright light bulbs. Task lighting is important, but overall lighting should still be bright. Dim lighting can form qi pockets. Use lighting to inspire flow and openness between indoor spaces and outdoor areas. Brisk qi energy comes from moving water features. The gentle sound from fountains, aquariums, or waterfalls improves airflow and brings dynamic and positive energy. Place them along borders to encourage movement throughout the space. But be careful not to saturate any one area with excessively loud or forceful moving water sounds, which can create negative qi effects. In summary, successful Feng Shui interior design chooses colors, furnishings, lighting, and spatial layouts that optimize qi flow for well-being. Nature-inspired calming colors, comfortable high-quality furnishings, a spacious open layout, natural lighting. Introduction. In Hindu and Buddhist traditions, chakras are believed to be energy centers in the body that correspond to different aspects of physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. There are 7 primary chakras, each with its own unique qualities and characteristics. In this article, We will explore the concept of chakras and how to work with them to promote health and well-being. Understanding chakras. Chakras are believed to be energy centers in the body that correspond to different aspects of physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. There are 7 primary chakras, each with its own unique qualities and characteristics. The 7 chakras are: root chakra, located at the base of the spine. The root chakra is associated with grounding, stability, and security. Sacral chakra, located in the lower abdomen. The sacral chakra is associated with creativity, sexuality, and pleasure. Solar plexus chakra, located in the upper abdomen. The solar plexus chakra is associated with personal power, self-esteem, and confidence. Heart chakra, located in the center of the chest. The heart chakra is associated with love, compassion, and emotional balance. Throat chakra, located in the throat. The throat chakra is associated with communication, self-expression, and authenticity. Third eye chakra, located in the center of the forehead. The third eye chakra is associated with intuition, insight, and spiritual awareness. Crown chakra, located at the top of the head. The crown chakra is associated with connection to the divine, spiritual enlightenment, and universal consciousness. Working with chakras. Working with chakras involves balancing and harmonizing the flow of energy through the body's energy channels. There are many different techniques for working with chakras, including meditation, visualization, yoga, and energy healing. Meditation. Meditation is a powerful tool for balancing and harmonizing the chakras. By focusing on the energy centers in the body and visualizing them as spinning wheels of energy, meditators can promote the flow of energy and balance the chakras. Visualization. Visualization techniques can be used to stimulate and balance the chakras. For example, visualizing the color associated with each chakra can help to activate and balance that energy center. Yoga. Yoga postures, or asanas, can be used to stimulate and balance the chakras. Each yoga posture is associated with a specific energy center in the body, and practicing yoga can help to promote the flow of energy through the chakras. Energy healing. Energy healing techniques, such as Reiki, can be used to balance and harmonize the chakras. Practitioners use their hands to channel energy into the body, promoting the flow of energy through the energy channels and balancing the chakras. Conclusion. Chakras are energy centers in the body that correspond to different aspects of physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. By working with the chakras through techniques such as meditation, visualization, yoga, and energy healing, individuals can promote the flow of energy through the body's energy channels and balance the chakras. As individuals continue to explore and work with the chakras, they will undoubtedly continue to discover new techniques and practices for promoting health, well-being, and spiritual growth. The key is to approach the chakras with an open and curious mind, and to be willing to experiment with different techniques to find what works best for you. In yoga, tantra, and Ayurveda, chakras are subtle energy centers believed to be located throughout the body. They are connected to the spine and endocrine system. Chakras spin, filtering and balancing energy throughout the body. When a chakra is blocked or imbalanced, it interferes with a person's well-being and overall health. The root or Muladhara chakra is located at the base of the spine. It is associated with stability, security, and basic needs. An imbalanced root chakra can lead to issues like lack of focus, fear, or anxiety. Activities to balance the root chakra include yoga, meditation, grounding, and quality time in nature. The sacral or Swadhisthana chakra is located below the navel. It governs pleasure, creativity, and emotion. An imbalanced sacral chakra can lead to addictive behaviors, manipulation of others, or difficulty accessing emotions. Balancing activities include creativity, art, dancing, gardening, and self-massage. The solar plexus or Manipura chakra is located at the solar plexus. It is the center of power and will. An imbalanced solar plexus chakra can lead to control issues, lack of confidence, or aggression. Balancing activities include yoga, tai chi, gentle exercise, meditation on compassion and gratitude. The heart or Anahata chakra is located at the center of the chest. It represents love, connection, and compassion. An imbalanced heart chakra can lead to lack of empathy, feelings of indifference, or constant worry/anxiety about others. Balancing activities include yoga, meditation, compassion practices, creativity, nurturing relationships, and acts of kindness. The throat or Vishuddha chakra is located at the throat. It governs communication and self-expression. An imbalanced throat chakra can lead to difficulty communicating needs or inability to set boundaries. Balancing activities include singing, chanting, creative expression, deep listening, and honest communication. The third eye or Ajna chakra is located between the eyebrows. It represents wisdom, intuition, and consciousness. An imbalanced Ajna chakra can lead to close-mindedness, difficulty perceiving life purpose, or paranoia. Balancing activities include meditation, mindfulness, journaling, visualization, and sacred geometry. The crown or Sahasrara chakra is located at the top of the head. It represents enlightenment, transcendence, and unity consciousness. There are no imbalances in the crown chakra, only opportunities to further open to spiritual unity.